Hi, welcome back for this week's Smarter Divorce Tip. My name is Nancy Hetrick. I'm the owner of Smarter Divorce Solutions, where we help couples go through divorce in a kinder, gentler way. Today's tip is to recognize when you have been hijacked by your amygdala or when your spouse has. And this is commonly called the reptilian brain. We all have it. Your amygdala is right back here at the base of your skull. And the amygdala is what is responsible for triggering your fight, flight, or freeze process. This typically happens when we believe we're in danger, right? And often as you start negotiating and navigating the process of divorce, it will feel very, very dangerous, and like a lot of things that are really important are vulnerable. And so here's the problem though. When that center of your brain is activated, it requires all of your brain's energy to be in fear and and you will be thrown into fight, flight, or freeze. And the quicker you can recognize in yourself what usually happens with you. I'm a freezer. I'm one that when things get really chaotic and crazy, I just shut down. And so knowing about yourself, which one you tends to be your default behavior, can be really helpful. More importantly, recognizing which one of those behaviors shows up in your spouse. Often I find that what shows up as anger is actually fear coming out in a different way. So as I started to say, when that amygdala gets fired up, all processes in your frontal cortex, which is where all your reasoning and rational thinking happens, stops. You cannot make good decisions, make any decisions, when you're locked in your reptilian brain. So there are definitely some tactics and tricks and techniques to A, recognize it, and B, do something about it so that you don't spiral down a black hole of, frankly, just emotions that aren't going to do anybody any good. Recognizing it is step one. And typically the best thing to do once you realize that reptilian brain has been stimulated is take a break. If it's your attorney, if it's a mediator, wherever you are, if you can say, you know what, I need a timeout. And you just walk outside, get some fresh air, and clear your head. And get grounded in what your logical thinking brain knows is the truth, and not the story that your reptilian brain wants to weave about how much danger you're actually in. Unfortunately, after millions of years of evolution, our amygdalas were created to let us know when we're being chased by a tiger. We don't have any tigers anymore. So now our amygdala gets really confused about what's dangerous and what's not dangerous. And it gets triggered all the time to make you feel like there's a life-threatening emergency, even though there's not. Usually if you stop and ask yourself, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen here? It's actually not that bad. So just recognize when it's happening. And if it's happening to you, you're not in a place where you can make a good decision. And if you see it happening in your spouse, suggest that you take a break in the proceedings so that they can get themselves back where they need to be. Okay? I hope you found this tip helpful. Like, comment, and share if you think somebody could benefit from this. And do know, even though you're stuck at home, you do not have to be stuck in your marriage. We're actively working with clients over video conferencing, mediating settlements, and keeping them out of court. Thanks a lot. Have a great week.